Doctors are responding to the vaccine debate ignited at the federal level by Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. The Illinois Public Health Association says vaccines have cut the number of preventable diseases by a significant margin, but the deputy executive director says people are questioning whether they should get the vaccines. The HHS secretary has canceled hundreds of millions of dollars in future vaccine research and has limited COVID-19 shots. The director warns that limiting vaccines could lead to future outbreaks.
We're in for some pretty troubling times. There was a few months ago a nationwide outbreak of measles, and measles is a very infectious disease. It's easily spread.
He adds the state health department won't have their list of vaccine recommendations until the end of the month.
And the state health department